What's going on, everyone? Good morning. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. It's your girl Erica here, and I just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about our channel. Not just our channel, about us. For the people who don't know or trying to figure out why Eat, Drink, Travel While Black. Why did we start this company? What was our thought process on it? And the reason why we started this was we are a firm believer that you can't see yourself in the world if you don't see the world. I think there's a lot of people who want to stick us in a box, especially Black people. They want us to be in a box of no bigger than the 5 streets that you grew up on, or, you know, the area that's your town or that's your city. And we don't subscribe to that. There's an entire world out there that God created that He wants us to explore, to see ourselves in. Let it be very, very clear. There is no place on this earth where there's no Black people. It's just not. I mean, there's a lot of places you can go, but we're everywhere. So stop trying to run away from Black people, because we're always there. So we wanted to start talking about why we started this. More than just bringing you great content, we wanted you to give you access. That's the beauty of YouTube. That's the beauty of social media. Even though quite often people use it for other things, there's always going to be something that's been created that someone's going to use for negativity. So we make the choice to use it for positivity. We want to show people that there's bigger things out there in this world, and we do it in the form of showing people it in food, in drinks, and in places to go, whether it's in the United States or internationally. But definitely internationally, because your girl loves to, hop a plane and get a passport stamp. But for me, I got my passport at 18. My parents allowed me to go to my senior class trip, and baby, now my parents knew, they're not crazy. At 43, my parents knew that everybody who's going on their senior class trip was going to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, to literally drink and party. It'd be a lie if we said we were going for anything else. We did do excursions, which were completely fun, but that's literally what we did. And although it was just, debauchery and fun, we still got to see outside of the United States. Many of us, that was our first time leaving the country. And so we left the country without our parents, and just had fun. If you don't go to another country, if you don't go anywhere, you're never going to know, what are their laws? What can you get in trouble for? What can't you get in trouble for? And that's important. If you think that everything is just very Americanized and that's just the way it's supposed to be, you're limiting yourself. So the thing with Eat, Drink, Travel While Black is we want to give people exposure. The great thing about social media is that you can find out things in different cities, different states, different countries. As much as everyone will tell you how much they hate social media, and yes, there are some parts that make it, but it can bring people exposure. And that's what our goal is, our desire is to show you, number one, places you can travel to, places where you can travel to and see people like you, restaurants you can go to. What is their service like? Not just Black owned, but definitely Black owned restaurants, hotels, liquors, brands, but the hospitality industry, which includes hotels, travel, food, is a billion-dollar business. Many hundreds of millions, billion-dollar businesses. There's no reason why we as Black people should not have a bigger say in how we travel and how people respect us and take our money. So we don't want to just show you great places to go. We want to tell you, hey, this is this place, and this may not be your experience, but this was our experience as people who are traveling, as Black people traveling, as Black people going to different restaurants. I don't want to keep waiting until there's another restaurant in some highfalutin area that people think is an issue where somebody was racially profiled. Why do we keep wanting to go places where you're going to be racially profiled? There are hundreds of other places that definitely want your money. There are hundreds of other places who want to have you come and stay there. What is the Black ability of it all? Erica, what is Black ability? Well, Black ability. The Black ability is when you go someplace, do you see you? From the people who are staying there. There's a lot of places that we'll see it on social media and get there. We're like, it was okay. partially because you don't feel like you're being welcomed. You don't feel like you could see yourself there, or you could see your family there, or do you see people there who are like you? One of the things I like to say is that whenever we go on vacation, every Black person you see is your cousin. All of them. We're cousins. Especially when you're going to an all-inclusive resort. It's like, and you see somebody, hey cousin, because there's not that many of us. So moving forward, we're going to start giving you the Black ability of different hotels, restaurants. Are there a lot of Black people there? Were there Black people there? Did you feel comfortable as a Black person there? Like, let us know. So one of the reasons why we do these different reviews and we talk about the places that we've been is because, number one, especially when it comes to small businesses, quite often you can't know if there's an issue in your restaurant, your hotel, as it pertains to service, if someone doesn't tell you. Now, contrary to popular belief, all Black people do not complain about food or service because they want something for free. Sometimes it's just, hey, guess what? This is something that happened to me. This was my experience. It may not happen all the time, but it's something that you need to address. And so a huge chunk of Eat, Drink, Travel While Black is explaining these different things. Like, hey, this is the service that we received. Hey, these are the issues that we have and why it's important. As a small business, you can't afford to have too many of these same issues. As a small business owner, quite often they don't have someone who handles quality control. Maybe in the restaurant, your executive chef or some of those things do. But if you say you have a server who's just garbage, and sometimes there are servers who are just garbage. Like, baby, this is not your gifting. This is not your lane. You should not have done this. If we as Black people don't, hey, these are some of the issues that I had, and present it to them respectfully, how will a business ever learn and grow? My desire is always that Black-owned restaurants thrive. Black-owned brands thrive. I want to see it because what I know is not just Black-owned, but definitely small businesses. They're not buying another summer home with this money. This is the difference between their kids going to one school or another. Or sometimes it's just as simple as whether or not they can buy 4 pairs of their shoes for their kid versus the 3. And because they are playing soccer, they need something else. Like, it's the little things like that. That's something that I take into thought process when we're going different places. So yeah, I'm going to tell them, hey, food was great, or this was good, but you guys really should work on this because our goal is to see them thrive. So our reviews are honest, and granted, and we always want to tag the brand in it. And because number one, I want you to know where it is. So our reviews are honest, and granted, and we always want to tag the brand in it. And because number one, I want you to know where it is. I hate the gatekeepers of social media. There's nothing that drives me more insane than seeing a great post and they don't tell me where the place is. I don't feel like spending 20 minutes going to go search to go and try to figure out where this place is. Being a content creator, if the content that you're sharing requires me to go do homework, I don't want that. I got enough homework I have to do for my own brand. So we will always tell you, hey, this is exactly where this place is. This is where you can find them on whatever social media account it is. Of course, in 2025, we want to go to more Black-owned hotels. I've never been to a Black-owned hotel. So it is top 10 on my list of things to do in 2025. Our goal is just to show people, hey, guess what? When you travel, there are whole cities where there's nothing but Black people in places that you didn't think about. For example, in Colombia, in Cartagena, we went to Palenque. Loved Palenque. Palenque was the first freed town in the Americas. And the energy that we felt and the things that we saw were simply amazing. Go out and see those things. There are more Black-owned restaurants in Georgia than just Pascal's. Now, if you know me personally, you already know how I feel about Pascal's, and I'll save that story for a different day. However, there's more to Atlanta than soul food. If you know somebody who lives in Atlanta and you're coming to visit, and the first place that you want to go is to a soul food restaurant, they'll probably take you, but there are other places to eat in Atlanta other than soul food. And I love soul food, and I will bust it down. But there's so many other places that you could go. There are so many different things that Black chefs are doing out here in the world. I definitely will say I personally am a little bit more, I'm looking for picky. I don't know if picky is the right word. When it comes to what Black chefs are creating, because I know some really great ones. I love some really great ones. There's some in my family. There's some that I know, friends who I've known who are doing great things. So outside of the pop and brunch places, I'll be the first to tell you, I love a good twerk. But sometimes I don't need that with my pancakes. Sometimes I just want to have brunch and I don't have to pop it. Now, there are other times when you just want to go out there and do that. But there's the gamut of it. We as Black people are not a monolith. We don't only just go to places that got flower walls. We try different things. We eat different things. And we want to encourage more of that, more access to these other places. So if you have a restaurant in the United States or a hotel, definitely Black-owned hotels, we would love to hear about it. We would love to go. I know we're going to be making our way back up to the DC area. And there's a whole list of places that I want to try and a whole list of places that we want to see. And we want to bring you along for the ride. So if there's something that you've been interested, you want to find out some places, we're definitely here to share that with you. On top of not just having experiences, we know that in this very polarized climate, you have a lot of Black people who have decided, you know what? I want to hit the United States with the deuces and I'm ready to go. Being an expat is something that Karey and I have talked about extensively, what that would look like. So we want to share information. As I see information, as we get information, we want to share expat communities around the world, whether it's Panama, Colombia, Portugal, all these places that Black people are moving to in droves and are thriving. We want to share that information. So if you are an expat, please, I would love to get any information that you share. I would love to sit down and interview you. I want to talk about what this really looks like. I think a lot of people have considered it, but there's a fear there, especially if you don't speak the language. If you don't know much about the laws, can I really do this? And the answer is yes. There's nothing that we can't do. And I refuse to allow society to tell me otherwise. So we definitely would love to hear more information about the expat community. How can we share that with other people who are considering moving out of the United States? What's a good resource depending on where you're trying to go? Because I can see it, a lot of us are trying to get the hell up out of Dodge.